Welcome everyone to today's Q&A session. My name is Pavan Sriram. I'm the CEO of Learngage, where we've been working with clients in the learning and the OD space for 7 years now, using a combination of assessments, training, consulting, and HR leadership is one of my passionate areas. Today, I'm going to be touching upon a very important topic, a need of the hour, I would say, remote recruiting. Working remotely is no longer just a novel idea if you look at it. And today and in the future, it's going to be a reality for more of us. Embracing remote recruitment is especially important now that many global organizations are transitioning to work from a home setting in the wake of the global COVID crisis. So if you look at it, green talent isn't contained in one area. I mean, it's scattered all across the globe. And fortunately, remote recruiting is possible thanks to modern technology that's been put in place for a lot of organizations. Interestingly, I was reading Mercer research which talks about the shift, and it says 74% of the organizations that are still hiring during this situation have changed their recruitment process. Well, in other words, if you want to continue hiring right now, simply put, you need to adapt or risk really missing out on top talent that is snatched up by possibly your competition. Today, I'm really excited to be talking to Abhishek Day, who is a director and global head of talent acquisition at BrowserStack. Abhishek has spent over the last 12 years with blue chip companies in the consumer product side with Microsoft, Uber, LinkedIn, Alcon, and TCS, and in the past, and holds experience in areas of HR business partnering, talent management, and OD interventions. And I think he's led fantastic talent acquisition teams, executive search, employer branding, and campus hiring strategy and execution. So, welcome, Abhishek. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm really excited to be talking today on a topic that I guess is the new normal. Great way to make this happen, and I think I want you to share what you've been doing at BrowserStack, and you've completely gone 100% remote. What is going to be, this whole remote recruitment mean for a lot of other tech companies like yours?
Sure. So, I think what it has done is it has opened up more possibilities for us to hire more globally.
True.
Right? While we, at least at our scale, we used to think that, okay, we will figure out a way to hire people from the US, but then how are we going to manage the on-site and things like that? With this entire remote meet, all of the roles and credentials have really gone away. And essentially now we're looking at a global play field in terms of talent, right? So that's a huge change that has happened for probably companies our size. Obviously, larger setups like a Microsoft or LinkedIn and Uber have been doing it earlier as well. And there, those interviews used to be 100% remote, right? Because you would take that cost to fly someone down just for interviews. Maybe post interviews you provide for some allowance for them to fly down, see the office, see the city, etc. So I think one is the opening up of the talent pool, which has happened for us globally, which is great. Especially in these times of uncertainty where a lot of companies may not be doing as well, and there are furloughs and layoffs across the board globally. A lot of Indians are looking to come back to India, right, with H-1B visa situations. And luckily, this downturn has been fairly kind to us, given our product review, beauty of our product. So we are in a position to still roll out offers and hire people. So that opens up a huge possibility. The second piece is really around communication. So again, we've not really mastered it yet, and I see some of my team members here on this webcast as well, but we haven't mastered this yet. There is still quite a bit to be done. But having said that, that is going to be key to success, right? Even at the cost of over communication with candidates, with hiring managers, with interviewers. Because I think the piece that we miss a lot of times is while we may be over communicating with the candidate and keeping them warm through the process, a lot of times hiring managers are just used to meeting us in person in office, or just stopping by and getting a status update. So that's gone away. So till we are more explicit in terms of our communication to how the pipeline's moving for them, they get a little restless, right? So I think the other side of the coin needs to be managed fairly well as well.
Right.
So regular reports, if you have an ATS which is allowing you to pull out those reports, great, even better, right? Then there's a lot of self-service that can be built in.
Right.
What we also have been doing is even some of our initial conversations with candidates, we've made it Zoom, right? Even at a recruiter level, because it just adds that personal touch, and plus you know who you're interviewing really, beyond just their LinkedIn profile, because otherwise we would have had an opportunity to see the person in person at on-site, but here you don't really know until you hire the person and you finally meet the person in office and stuff. So I think that's another piece, and these are small hacks really.
No, interesting. Really
but
interesting.
to ensure that you are interviewing the right person, the same person going through the process.
Interesting.
And so on.
Yeah.
Also, I think one piece which is going to be very, very important for us and for most companies that are now going to be dependent mostly on in-house recruiting is driving top of funnel sort of talent, right? So it could be things around employer branding, also sharing news about the fact that your company is hiring, conducting digital webinars like these, educating people about our tech stack, the sort of work that we do. I think that is going to be also essential to be able to drive top talent to our jobs directly, rather than burning our recruiters out just for them to go out there and headhunt. Right?
True.
So I think that is another piece that we're working towards. The other pillar that you've identified that we're working around is candidate experience, and I think we can talk about this later.
Yeah.
But that's something that we're being a little more conscious about in terms of how we still provide a great candidate experience to people while everything is remote.
Right. So let me touch upon two things that you spoke, Abhishek. I think the first thing, obviously given that you're recruiting remotely, and what I believe you're saying is technology is going to play a very important role. What are some of the tech interventions do you think recruiters or even BrowserStack is using to make this whole process much more easier and smoother for recruitment teams across? You spoke about ATS, for example, so something more than that I would love to hear.
Sure. So we are not very fancy in terms of tech, right? In terms of tech that we use in recruiting, it's fairly bare minimum and basic. But that's what I always say when I talk about tech. It's not about the variety of tools that you use, but how well you use what you have and how well you deploy them to the end result, right? So I think we have a fairly operational ATS, and all candidates are tracked through that. So that really helps in terms of driving consistency in terms of how we assess people. Secondly, there are functionalities in the ATS we are currently exploring in terms of how do we drive better referrals and tracking through the ATS, rather than people just randomly sending us emails or stopping by and sending us a LinkedIn profile, but that's gone away now, but they've just slacked us, right? So that's something that's work in progress. We also are looking at how do we engage with candidates better, especially passive pipeline of talent at an exec level. So currently it's off a spreadsheet. We are trying to see how we can automate some of that so that we can send out regular updates to people, to senior talent about what BrowserStack is doing. So that's the other piece that we would typically look at.
Right.
I think from an onboarding standpoint and pre-onboarding standpoint as well, there's a fair amount of touch points that we have established right now in terms of like after every interview, how do we provide feedback to candidates, and then post an offer, how do we keep the candidate engaged through the process, right? Because that's the period where the candidate is most vulnerable. He already has an offer, and as I said, it's really easy to interview nowadays because you're sitting at home, no one's really monitoring, you don't have to go into a conference room.
Right.
You can do a Zoom interview. So chances of, luckily we haven't had too many dropouts post offer, but then that's a possibility. And to minimize that possibility, what we've done is we have set up multiple touch points with hiring managers, recruiters, team members that people would go through. And most of this would be over Zoom, so that they're able to stay engaged about the opportunity. Also, from an evaluation standpoint, we use Hacker, right, for our tech hiring at junior level. So all our assessments are administered through Hacker, and those obviously are then
Right.
proctored in the
Right.
events, right?
So let me pause you there, Abhishek. I'm really keen to know how do you do that, because obviously, given that you're in two places, and assessments is a big thing, especially when it comes to technical roles. How do you ensure proctoring and validity of a candidate is taken care of?
So I think most platforms like say HackerEarth or HackerRank have that digitally proctored
Right.
sort of facility available. Like
Right.
you cannot have time off screen for
Right.
a certain period of time.
Right.
There's plagiarism in the code that gets flagged off. A lot of the platforms that have come up now actually track eyeball movement, a movement of people outside of the person being the interview, and then provide a confidence index. All of that's great, but as long as you get a decent sense of whether the person's been able to do that test fairly independently, I think that's good enough, because that's not the only criteria on which you want to really evaluate. Okay? I've seen a lot of recruiting teams really fret and sweat about how well they do the initial piece, but my issue is that you're spending too much time there where that's not really the only parameter, right? It's an initial filter, yes, but it's not a make or break for a stellar candidate in that sense. So I think that from an assessment standpoint is important, and most platforms have some sort of proctoring built in.
Fantastic.
And that really helps.
Right. So the other thing, and I think it was very interesting that you spoke about, which I think would stand as a differentiator, is candidate engagement and the candidate experience through the whole recruitment process. Right. How do you think? First of all, I think I would like to know what you're doing. I mean, at BrowserStack, and the other, I really want you to kind of share some things that organizations can ensure a great candidate experience in the recruitment process.
Sure. So I think I have done this in a couple of places. So and which was non-COVID situations, right? And the principles still remain the same in terms of mapping out what your recruitment process is. What are the different touch points that a candidate really interacts with? So it could be hiring managers, recruiters, sourcers, schedulers, interviewers, right? Through the process, and what are the breakpoints possibly? So I think we often as HR undermine the power of data, and we over-index on benchmarking. Whereas for me, benchmarking needs to be super contextual. Like what HUL may have a brilliant candidate experience process, but the context is not my industry. Right. So benchmarking them is going to give me great ideas, but it may not work in the context of my industry. Right. So I think more than benchmarking, I am a big fan of looking at past data. So that's what we're doing right now. We're looking at candidate satisfaction data, seeing what the breakpoints are, and then seeing in this digital world how can we address this. So generally what I've seen, and this is a common theme across most organizations, is that there are three major reasons why candidate experience breaks down. Either it's a lack of communication, be it from the interviewer, the recruiter, an interview round has happened and there's complete radio silence for 2 weeks, and suddenly the recruiter comes back and says, hey, setting up your next round. So that's a major related. The other one is professionalism of the interviewers during the interview process, right? How do they make the candidate feel? I've interacted with interviewers where they have this immense superiority complex where obviously they might know a lot of things, but then the candidate's there for a reason. And that's got nothing to do with remote recruiting really. But I think the non-verbal cues and the way you speak with a candidate becomes even more important when you're not in person, right? Because then at least over the telephone or over a bad connection, you may come across as arrogant or rude, etc. So I think coaching interviewers around that becomes very, very important as well. And the third piece, which I think is the ideal factor, is a comp, but then how the comp has been communicated, right? So again, that goes back to the recruiter's capability. So that's another piece of work that we are right now doing in terms of ensuring that our recruiters are able to communicate the BrowserStack story effectively, and are also then able to communicate our value proposition effectively to candidates, so that no candidates end up at the end of the interview, long interview process of 8 rounds, and then say that, hey, this is not what I signed up for in terms of either compensation or role, etc.
Yeah.
And again, that has got nothing to do with remote, right?
Right.
So now what remote really does is accentuate the need for communication.
Right.
It also accentuates the need for, as I said, more hand-holding and micromanagement of the interview process per se.
Right.
Just to give you an example, at BrowserStack, for tech talent, we have like a 4-hour assessment process.
Very good.
There are 2 tests, virtual on-site tests that they do after the hacker test, right? And that's completely virtual now. So essentially, someone has to be looking at a screen for like 4 hours at a stretch. The interviewer is going to be there to try and handhold. But then taking 4 hours out when you're virtually working and not taking the day off is a very different ball game versus taking a day off, coming for an on-site, finishing it. So managing through that becomes an issue. Also, when we were doing campus hiring, I think we faced this as well, because we did a bunch of this remotely, and students would get really fatigued through the process, right? Because then you do those 2 tests back to back, and then there would be other interviews, right? So you're looking at a screen time of 6 hours at a stretch, and then how you schedule for breaks, managing different rooms in Zoom, etc. I think it was a huge learning experience for us, because there were limited interviewers, and they would have to shuttle from one virtual room to the other with multiple candidates to be able to, again, for campus hiring, to be able to handle them and evaluate their code, their live writing there. So I think Zoom helped. There are a lot of functionalities and plugins actually that you can use on Zoom. A lot of people tell me how do you effectively conduct meetings and things like that without like a whiteboard. Then there's a whiteboard functionality on Zoom, which is slightly effective, right? There are again other platforms other than Zoom, like Google Meets that you're talking about, or Lark. Lark actually allows you to do post-its. It actually simulates a virtual training room in that sense. So there are platforms that can help do it for us currently in Zoom. But then actually figuring out where the process may break for the candidate becomes like the main piece, rather than just looking at tech. And again, irrespective of COVID or not, I think those still remain the same.
Correct. No, I think what you said is so true. Whether I think it's COVID or not COVID. Yeah, so I said what I was saying is whether COVID or not COVID, I think some of the principles remain the same. And as far as what you have put in place is fantastic, because you have some of the best practices now, and you think both the human element is very critical to engaging, though you have a lot of tech in place, which is fancy tech or mandatory tech. I think that's something that a lot of organizations can follow. I have one last thing to ask you, and I think this question just came in yesterday, saying what are some of the tips that a recruiter or hiring manager you could probably share with, where they can make a recruitment far more easier when it's going to be far more remote, using technology, using candidate engagement, different pieces of it. So maybe a couple of few takeaways for recruiters especially, right? So
I think one, we need to accept the fact that things might move slow, right? People are scared, especially in a COVID situation. They don't want to relocate. They want to be close to the near and near ones, etc. So things are going to go slow. People don't want to make a switch right now because obviously of the layoffs, etc. that are happening in the industry. They're not sure. So known devil better than we are not devil, right? And the recruiting team and the hiring teams need to be cognizant of that and accept that. That's beyond our control. What really they can do is to work as a team. I think a lot of teams, especially in large setups, you typically have an us versus them sort of a situation. But here, the hiring managers of the interviewing team and the recruiting team needs to work as one team presenting the organization.
Right.
Because doing this bad, like impacts
True.
I think that's one big takeaway. The other piece is really again ensuring that the candidate is super comfortable through the process. Like in a non-remote sort of situation, we would hustle the candidates through multiple rounds, want to finish out everything. We have our numbers to meet and things like that. But and obviously recruiting, I always believe, is a little bit of a gamble because you're evaluating someone based on those 8-9 hours that you spend with them. Obviously you do ref checks and everything, but it's still a gamble. You don't really know, and everyone really presents the best foot forward or face forward when they interview. Hence, I would rather have companies really be more deliberate and, if needed, slow in their hiring process, at least for leadership talent, so that they don't make the wrong hire, right? Because at a leadership level, then you're looking at more of cultural fitment and cultural add-on more than a fitment, right? And if that goes wrong, it then impacts your team, which you never want to do. So I think, and assessing that remotely can be a challenge at times, right? Because you don't see the whole person. There are disturbances, irritants around you. You have your wife cooking, you have your kid running around, and the same at the candidate side. It just becomes very difficult to focus after a point in time, and especially like large firms or services firms, like Venkat is in IT services. I'm assuming that those companies would be hiring in bulk.
Correct.
So now doing those hiring drives can become really can become really taxing for hiring managers and leaders. So whereas the ratios may have been great earlier, now probably the ratios will go for a toss, or you'll get wrong hires if you do those in bulk.
True.
I think those are the three things.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. I think it's really nice to have somebody like you talk about principles and practices. I think that lays the great foundation for recruiters, the recruitment teams, hiring managers. And I think if everybody really understands and has the same goals and objectives, I think that makes just life more easier for everybody, I guess. Yeah. Again, thank you, Abhishek. Wonderful talking to you. Really interesting to have some of those anecdotes and best practice that you could share. We have another couple of minutes, so I'll just open it up to anyone who wants to probably ask questions. I have one question that just came in. Probably I'll leave it. I'll keep it here with me till the others have any, and then if I have time, I will ask you about it.
Thanks, Pawan. So thanks, Abhishek. It's definitely, I can feel like it's been like more than 30 minutes now. Lot of insights. I'd be happy if we can be extended to another 30 minutes, but I know looking at your it's Friday, so I'm sure you will have a lot of other plans for the next weeks. So just coming, I have a quick question, Abhishek. So you talked about there are a lot of positivity. I mean, there are a lot of positive. It's easy for the recruiter to reach out. The hiring velocity will be easy. The different stages will happen very fast. It depends on the volume again, but there's a lot of cost cutting. You have absolutely no on-site interview at all. You can reach out globally to all the candidates. So it's not a lot of pluses, but if you really have to see what are the cons basically, do you see kind of such hiring? It's not about the COVID reason. I'm talking about the remote hiring. So what are the cons you're finding it out? I know it's too early because we all just we used to this kind of remote hiring for the last couple of weeks, but we also have done that earlier. As you said, there are other companies who do remote hiring.
True.
But just without any kind of on-site interview, what do you think? What are the expected challenges which you want to hear from the hiring manager?
Sure. So I think we'll hear back saying that we could assess cultural fitment. I think that's definitely going to come across. Also, if teams are not using the right tools in terms of CodeShare or any of these platforms that are talking about HackerRank, there would be issues of plagiarism that will come up, and then technically you'll be hiring someone who may not be great, right? So then there may have to be other checkpoints around looking at the repositories on GitHub, etc. Other than that, I think it's a mindset because we are used to seeing on-site interviews, there's nothing that a Zoom can't really do with a stable internet connection and with everything else remaining the same, that you're in an interview zone, you don't have other distractions around. I think it can mimic an actual interview room in a lot of ways than one, right? So that's one. Unless someone really hits script back on the screen and they're reading from it or whatever. So I think quality or questionable quality may come up if there have been certain shortcuts taken, or if you have continued hiring without some of the safeguards at the same pace, right? Because the recruiting team just wants to fill positions. That was a conversation I was having with my team the other day as well. Yes, we have to fill positions, but we also have to do the right thing by the company, right? So if the company still wants to move at the same pace, it's our job to coach the leaders and tell them that like there are challenges of going at the same pace because you're not really meeting candidates. So that's one. I think the other one is the fact that people are now, like, it works both ways, right? While we can interview people, people can interview in multiple places more often, right? Typically, otherwise, if I'm having an on-site, I can maximum about 2 interviews in a day. Now I can do 3, 4, multiple across the geography, right? So I think that then again opens up more possibilities for the job seeker, and hence possibly we'll have more offer rejections going forward in this organization, because everyone wants the best for themselves, right? Those are the 2 things. But a quick call out, I think we actually did remote recruiting at BrowserStack at scale even before COVID hit, because we did campus at a massive scale this year, and we went to a lot of those IIMs which are not in regular cities, right? So instead of really going there, we did Zoom interviews in most of these places.
Great.
Oh, that's great. Okay. But I'm also thinking of, as you know how the business talks, right? I mean, during this situation, they know that there is a potential candidate in the market. They're not going to compromise on the quality, even though whatever we do our best. And not only that, they're trying to say that there is the target, not that there is going to be more strengthened in terms of the conversions from the hiring side.
Possibly yes, because the hiring team will have that in the back of their mind that quality may suffer and not meeting the person in person. You might see some rejections, but I think that's where the role of the recruiting team is, right up front, rather than you actually go through a funnel and lose a lot of great candidates, because a hiring manager may have some of those preconceived notions, to educate them that nothing really changes drastically if the set process that you guys have laid out is followed, right? So I think that needs to happen up front rather than after losing like 30, 40, maybe in your case 100 candidates.
Thank you.
Great.
Thanks.
Thank you, Venkat. Again, thanks Abhishek, thanks everybody. Great to be chatting up with you on this Friday. We look forward to connecting again, Abhishek. Really, really nice. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks for organizing, Pawan.
Bye. Thank you, guys.